Okay, so I've got a surfboard outline here. I've got a white fill and a black stroke. First I'm going to change that around a little bit. So I actually want my fill, maybe, let's choose the shape. I'm going to fill it with maybe blue, and I'm going to turn off the stroke line and make it no color. So it's just basically a blue filled object. That's what I'm going to transform into 3D. Before I do that though, I'm going to switch on something called the Symbols panel. Which is just off your screen. There it is, that's what it looks like, Symbols panel. And I've also got another tab open which has got my logo design in. So very simply I'm going to select my logo design and I'm going to copy it using Control C. I'm going to come back over to my surfboard. I'm not going to paste it on the surfboard. In fact, I don't even need to paste it on the page. I can paste it off the page if I wanted to, down here somewhere. So I'm just going to do Control V. There it is. I'm simply going to grab this while it's selected and drag it into my Symbols panel and give it a name. I'll just call this one Quicksilver, and I'm going to say OK. You can see it's in there now, so I can forget about this other one. In fact, I can even delete it now if I wanted to, but I'll do that later. I'm going to come back up to where my surfboard shape is here. I'm going to select my surfboard shape, and now I'm going to go into a new option which is called Effects. I've got one here called 3D. I'm going to choose Extrude and Bevel. This brings up a window for me. Now if I switch on preview, I can see by moving my object around which surface I'm looking at and what it kind of looks like. So straight away on mine I can see it's too thick. I'm going to change things like that afterwards, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put that symbol I've created onto the surface. So I'm going to go down to here where it says Map Art and choose Map Art. And on the window that opens, I'm going to choose from the drop down arrow, and I'm going to go, and there it is. That's the one I've just created, Quicksilver. So I'm going to say OK to that. Now you can see it's too big, so I'm going to say Scale to Fit. That's still bigger than I want it to be, so I'm just going to hold down the Shift button and drag, and I'm going to create a smaller version of this mapped artwork, maybe even a bit smaller again. And I'm just going to position it roughly where I want it, and that basically does what I want. So I'm going to say OK. I can still see in my preview what it looks like over here. There's a few things I want to change on mine. I want to change the thickness, and I want to put a kind of bevel edge on it. So I'm going to change my thickness. I'm going to try looking at maybe 30, and you can experiment here. And I'm going to choose a bevel edge. I'm going to go for one which is called rounded, which is just off the screen. Now you can see what that's starting to look like now. Possibly I'll make my bevel a bit bigger, so I'll try an 8 as the size. And now I can start to see what it begins to look like. It might still be a little bit thick for a surfboard, so perhaps I'll try 25 on here instead. And by clicking on another option, just quickly you can make it have the effect. And I can just position this now by moving it around to get it the way that I want it. And then when I'm happy that that's what I want my design to look like, I simply click OK. If at any point I want to go back and alter it, all I need to do is to come into my Appearance panel, and now you can see there's one here called 3D Extrude and Bevel. I simply click on that and it brings this box back up again, so I can alter my angle or do what, as long as I've got preview on, do what I want to do with it. Okay, that's what you need to do to create your three-dimensional shape. Good luck.